Hi and welcome to this Blueprint Markets video update with me, John Kibler, Head Currency Analyst. In this video, I'm going to take you through the week ahead analysis. We're going to go over the news and some charts to watch. So jumping into the news then, got a busy Tuesday. We see the Bank of Canada Governor speaking, as well as the Bank of Japan, as well as Fed Chairman Powell on Tuesday. So that's going to be a busy day for those trading those markets or within the sort of risk and risk off markets. So interesting day coming on Tuesday. Federal Chair Powell speaking will probably be the most highlighted one out of this, or the most watched out of this, due to the fact that the Federal Reserve are looking to continue that rate hike cycle. We then have the Aussie CPI year on year expected to come out, which is showing an increase from 6.9% to 7.3%. It's not particularly what you want to see. You want to see inflation coming to the downside. So we would expect forecasts to want to come in a little bit lower than the 7.3%. We then have CPI figures coming out of the US as well, showing further declines, which is exactly what the Federal Reserve will want to see, although core CPI month on month is suggesting it's coming a little bit higher. Unemployment claims as well is going to be something to watch going into this week now, because the jobs data was fairly okay. Unemployment claims may actually come in a little bit lower here than the forecasted higher 215. The Fed want to see unemployment claims move higher, because they want to try and steady the ship with inflation and want to almost see some less employment data coming through. So unemployment going up or unemployment claims going up would suggest that the unemployment rate should also rise. But we know from last week that the actual unemployment rate fell. So those claims there may come in a little bit lower than forecasted here. We then have GDP data out of the UK, looking to see a minus 0.3% figure. Pound was weak last week until sort of the US dollar downside, which caused pound dollar to rally. So although across the board pound still fairly weak. Going on to the strength meter then, we can see that the yen is actually the strongest currency at the moment, topping the strength meter at +7. We've had a bit of a sideways week, so we could start to see some weakness coming into the Japanese yen, although I've had a little look around the charts and the yen still looks fairly strong from a technical point of view. One of the other stronger currencies at the moment was the Canadian dollar. Like you can see here, went from -3 to +2. You can see that running through there, as well as the US dollar gained a little bit of strength. But we know the dollar is in a range, so that figure there for the dollar is a little bit off on the strength meter. Euro performed pretty poorly, so euros dropped below 0. So maybe euro against the stronger currencies could be something to watch going into this week. I'm going to kick it off with the dollar index then. The reason why I'm just going to keep highlighting the dollar index is because we were in this trading range between the 103 spot 50 handle and the 105 spot 50. I think news this week may be the trigger for us to move to either the downside or the upside. Obviously, dependent on how the figures come out this week, that CPI data could be pretty important. If the CPI comes in a lot lower, then the dollar could continue to break to the downside, heading towards the 101 spot 50. The pound US dollar price is interesting as well. I'm just highlighting this because the effects that the dollar have had on this. The dollar was a little bit range bound last week, but also had a couple of days of sort of big volatility, and you can see that there. We're in a range, we broke out the range, prices then closed back within the range. So are we going to see the continuation? If the dollar gets weaker, we could easily see pound US dollar back up towards the 123 handle and easily the 1.22 handle. Going on to dollar yen then. So dollar yen found the highs in here at 134 spot 50, rejected those highs, came to the downside. So I'm looking to see if we get a lower high here on the H4 chart, to see if then we could trade maybe back down to the 131 handle, or perhaps even the lows here at 129 spot 70. Now, like I said, the yen is at the top of the chart, so it's shown us that it is the strongest currency at the moment. So you should technically still look for those yen bullish moves. However, I think if dollar yen trades above 132, then we could start to see the yen weaken, and we could start to see the reversal coming into play. But I think as long as we stay below this 134 or 135 handle, sorry. If we can stay below that, that would be significant for further dollar yen downside. Finally, gold then. So gold, we're actually looking to see if price will stay within this range in here until maybe that 1875 before a pop back down towards the $1,800 level, but that hasn't been the case. The NFP figures came out and gold rallied to the upside, closing outside of the range. So it looks like we're going to see 1875 here on gold now. So if we were in the early stage of the week to pull back a little bit, you may want to look for 1875 as targets going into this week. However, if we trade above 1875, we open the door up to a larger potential move to come. If we reject here though, price may come back within this channel and may try and stick with it before continuing lower. So definitely something to consider there as well on gold. I'm going to leave it there. I hope you enjoyed this video update. If you did, leave this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the YouTube channel to see some more Forex trading updates. Let's see if the price can break through either of these levels going into this week. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.